discussion? Questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you. Let's move on to licensing and adjudications.
Luckily, there are no licensing matters, Madam Chair.
All right, and you are filling in for
Yes.
Chief Counsel Brookdoer, who's on vacation, but I'm sure thinking of us and wishing as well. Starting with the appeal of Ronald Burke.
Thank you. This matter is docketed under Racing ME 2017-NM-14. This is the appeal of Ronald Burke from the decision of the Board of Judges of the Meadows in disqualifying his horse, the number 6 horse, Front Circle, from the 3rd race at the Meadows Racetrack on September 13, 2017. The decision of the judges was based upon their determination that the driver of Front Circle failed to return the horse to its gate and failed to lose ground after Front Circle broke into a gallop during the home stretch of the race. You've now had an opportunity to review the videotapes of the race and review the proposed order from your hearing officer and the transcript of the hearing, and this would be the following order as approved by motion. And now, this 27th day of February 2018, upon consideration of the hearing, testimony, and exhibits of record, together with the foregoing findings of fact and conclusions of law, it is hereby ordered that the decision of the Board of Judges to disqualify the horse Front Circle from the 3rd race at the Meadows Racetrack on September 13, 2017, and move it to the 4th position is affirmed.
Is there a commissioner willing to make that motion?
Let me just ask a question here. When you say disqualify the horse, but you don't identify from the 2nd race or whatever race number it was.
I did. It's from the 3rd race at the Meadows Racetrack. I said.
You're just not disqualifying, you're changing the placings, right?
You want to disqualify, just move back.
That's correct. That's the order, the proposed order. If you don't want that word used, in essence, it's a DQ, and then there's a placing.
Well, it's reversing the placings.
It reverses the place.
The hearing officer did say as well.
The hearing officer said disqualified. You're objecting to the language disqualified.
I think they're objecting to replacing 4th.
No, that is the place.
All right, once more.
So that order dies for no.
No, can it be?
To modify?
I think we all know what we
Yeah, I see what
want to say.
All right.
The order is saying you're revising the placings.
All this pressure. And now, this 27th day of February 2018, upon consideration of the hearing, testimony, and exhibits of record, together with the foregoing findings of fact and conclusions of law, it is hereby ordered that the decision of the Board of Judges to place Front Circle into 4th position from 2nd during the 3rd race at the Meadows Racetrack on September 13, 2017 be affirmed.
So moved.
Second, Commissioner Jones, second, Commissioner Sweeney. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, Commissioner DeBunda has abstained. So did Commissioner Lark because they weren't able to see the tape. Commissioner Rogers, we had one no, right? Stephanie, you got it? All right, motion carries. Finally, George, keep going.
Thank you. This morning, the Commission conducted an ejection hearing at 9:30. The ejection was from Penn National of licensee Gina Perry. The Commission was able to receive testimony and exhibits of record. It then conducted a quasi-judicial deliberation in executive session, and based upon the testimony and records presented, the following order would be, if it's so the Commission so chooses, this would be the following order. And now, this 27th day of February 2018, upon consideration of the testimony and exhibits of record, is hereby ordered that the ejection of Gina Perry by Penn National on January 31st, 2018, for a period of 1 year, is hereby affirmed.
So moved. Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Commissioner Lark, were you opposing?
No, I supported it.
Okay. I just went too fast.
That's fine, thank you.
All right, thank you. Motion carries. Finally, under licensing and adjudications, George, an update on pending appeal statistics.
As of today's date, before the Board of Judges, there are 0 hearings. Before the Board of Stewards, there are 2 at Penn National, there are 7 at Philadelphia Park, 0 at PID because it's dark. The Commission received, the Commission's bureaus received a total of 2 matters. Several were denied as untimely and non-compliant. 1 was accepted. 1 will be sent to the legal office to be scheduled. Hearings that have been scheduled but not yet conducted are a total of 4. There are 3 meds and 1 ejection. That ejection matter was carried as of today. The hearings conducted and awaiting proposal from the hearing officer is 1. That is a DQ. The adjudication today were a total of 2. We had the Ron Burke and the Gina Perry matters. Those are all taken care of. There are a total of 4 appeals to the Commonwealth Court, specifically Lerman, Rojas, Racing Gambit, and Sarissa. All those matters are present in front of the Commonwealth Court in various stages of filing briefs and or oral arguments and or awaiting adjudication from the court. Finally, under the Federal District Court, we are still awaiting Judge Kane to dismiss the matter in the Mosier matter, and recently a new complaint has been filed in the Zuleta et al. Matter against Director Chooks. The Attorney General's office will be handling that matter.
Thank you. Any questions, discussion on that? And if not, then let's dig into marketing. Go back to the fun stuff.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Ashley Eisenbill, Commission Director of Marketing. I'm going to start off with the marketing research update. The Savvy Group has completed the focus groups as of last week. Penn National and the Meadows each hosted 2 focus groups to gain more insight from potential and occasional customers. The Savvy Group will be presenting their final marketing research report to us, the committee, tomorrow at the Department of Agriculture. I will share the final report with the Commission and the stakeholders once I have it available. And again, the marketing research report will be the baseline for the Creative Branding campaign. So this is just the first step in developing that. Next, I wanted to discuss the economic impact study for the state. After last month's commission meeting, I sent the commissioners the Delaware Valley University's initial proposal to conduct a statewide economic impact study for Pennsylvania's horse racing and breeding industry. The Marketing Advisory Committee has reviewed and discussed the proposal and all agree that an industry economic impact study for Pennsylvania is long overdue and aligns with the Commission's mission to promote and educate the public about Pennsylvania's horse racing and breeding industry. The Marketing Advisory Committee would like to recommend to the Commission to give a grant for $43,405 to Delaware Valley University to conduct an industry economic impact study. Discuss or have questions?
Now, actually, this impacts the study that they're going to do is going to be strictly for our industry, correct? I mean, it's not, you said equine. I mean, it's going to be specifically for the racing and breeding part, correct?
Correct.
And how would this study be presented, and who would receive the questionnaires and the parts involved in the study?
It's going to be our industry stakeholders will take an evaluation of different farms and owners, trainers, tracks, all within our state.
So would it be going strictly to stakeholders, or would it be going to people other than stakeholders?
I believe it will be going to other than stakeholders, small businesses, all of those things that branch into giving and supporting our industry.
So you don't know approximately how many questionnaires would be?
No, I do not know that yet.
Okay.
You're not proposing all 30,000 licensees or anything?
No, no.
Well, I make a recommendation that we further pursue this and go ahead with this study.
We'll take that as a motion. Is there a second? Thank you. Any further discussion? The motion is to approve asking Delaware Valley University to move forward with an economic impact study of the racing industry.
$43,405.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Ashley. Anything?
The next thing I wanted to discuss is the branding campaigns industry website. The Marketing Advisory Committee has had many discussions with the Equine Coalition concerning the industry website. The Equine Coalition has proposed that they facilitate the development and maintain the branding campaigns industry website. The committee believes that having the Equine Coalition be the facilitator for the website is a positive solution for some of the concerns for timeliness and content. The Marketing Advisory Committee and myself will work together with the Equine Coalition to select a vendor and provide guidance during the creation of the website. We will also provide the selected vendor with the Savvy Group's marketing research report and website content. So the Marketing Advisory Committee would like to recommend to the Commission to give a grant for $150,000 to the Equine Coalition to facilitate the creation and maintain the industry website.
Okay, is there a motion to approve this relationship with the Equine Coalition, giving them a grant of $150,000 to actually take control of developing and hosting and maintaining the website?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Sweeney. Is there a second? Commissioner Rogers, any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Go get it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Turn it over to you to take the industry reports section.
Okay, moving along to the general industry reports. Don't have any speaking directors today or horsemen. I'll move along and call upon Brian Zampertello.
Good afternoon. On the first page of the handout, the January deposits into the breeding fund are down a little over $46,000, almost $47,000. Also, the March issue of the Mid-Atlantic Thoroughbred is attached. Favored tail, PA bred, just went over $1 million in earnings. So we thank everyone that's involved with Favored Tail, including Favored Tail. The PA bred purses at parks. We sat together with Michael Leslie and also Sam Elliott, and thank both of them for their consideration in moving the purses a little bit closer to the open race purses. The PA bred maiden special weight was 33,000. It's going to go to 37,000. The A other than and the two other than will be 39 and 41. So again, we thank them for their help with this. Unique Bella, who was last year's Eclipse Award sprinter, PA bred, won her first graded stake, the Santa Maria Stakes, a couple of weeks ago, and we think that hopefully, if everything goes well with her, she'll be a big player this year. She was tied also last year with a Gun Runner, who was the horse of the year for the most graded stakes wins, and that was 5. And the Mayor's Bred report just was updated with the Jockey Club. I had told you that when we initially took account that we were going to actually it's closer to 19%. So again, great move for Pennsylvania sires and great move for Pennsylvania. Any questions?
Brian?
Yes.
I every day read the Feburary Daily News. And that's for those of you who don't know, it's a daily publication in the Feburary industry. And it, among other things, reports the results of winners around the country on the daily. I would like to again ask you if there's any way we can, part of that publication, designate, highlight those horses that are PA bred that win wherever they win, because there's multiple occasions of horses winning that need highlighting in that publication, and some kind of a color added highlight would show the rest of the country how successful Pennsylvania horses are at the races. I know we spend a lot of money with the TDN, because I see a daily advertisement in there from us, a ribbon ad. And I would think that it shouldn't be much additional cost for them to do something like this. But I think that more than the general public realizes, Pennsylvania races, great horses are successful. And I think this would be one minor way, but it would be an impactful way of designating that.
I will bring that up to the board at the next meeting. I know we did discuss it. It was $75 per every little ribbon ad when we had a winner, and that was for allowance and maiden special weight allowance or stakes winners. And in the Today section, the big spot that we have, which is about, I guess, might be about 15% of the whole page, is only $125. So that's why we moved from doing that to that, and we do put in there when when Unique Bella won the stakes race, we did put a full page ad in there for 2 days. But I will go back to the board and review that with them.
I'd like you to go to TDN and say, look, we're an important customer here. Look at the amount of money we're spending with you annually. This should be an add-on that they'd be happy to do with no charge to you for the amount of advertising you're giving.
I will ask Sue Finley. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Any other questions, discussion? Please.
I thought that the Tom or actually was mentioned, last month I mentioned that the match series is going forward, it's now been finalized. I thought the internal marketing was going to include at least an update on that. Well, I'm sorry to kind of skip over it, but I really thought we were going to get that as part of the marketing thing. Because at some point, Tom, or actually bring the commission up to date on where the match series stands.
That's on me, Sal. I thought after the last meeting that we had identified. I'm sorry. I thought after the last commission meeting we had identified the match series was coming back and the dates, and we passed out a handout. I'll be happy to send the commissioners the latest PR release and schedule once again to make sure the commission has it.
Yeah, but the press release came out and everything about it, and it's got pretty good context throughout the country about it, especially on the East Coast. So, if you would do that, I appreciate it. This shows the cooperation not only among the Pennsylvania tracks and listeners, but also the whole Mid-Atlantic area and the cooperation between the horsemen. And I think it's a very important thing that's happening in the industry.
Heads are nodding all over. Thank you. Greg, anything else public comment?
I've got one more, Sam Beagle.
Do you think we're going to ever do anything about the fingerprints? Or are we just going to keep getting them every 3 years and be aggravated? I've had numerous owners who have just had enough of the state police fingerprinting. I understand we have a guy in this room that don't like them being fingerprinted on paper.
I can't hear Sam.
The question is regarding the current state police fingerprinting process.
my understanding, I think we're at the 10-year mark, are we not?
9.
Okay, Andy, can you speak better to that?
It's in 9 years or every third renewal.
Well, no. I was just told today, every 3 years.
No, the licenses are for 3 years, but you don't have to be fingerprinted.
Andy, could
For
you
9
come up
years.
and speak into the mic for
Sure.
the benefit of the commissioners who aren't here?
I don't know where this is coming from.
Welcome to Andy Bender, the Director of Licensing for the Commission, to address the question of how often you have to renew your license versus how often you have to have your fingerprints taken.
Licenses need to be renewed every 3 years, but fingerprinting only has to be done, it has to be done originally when you first get a license, and then it's every 9 years after that. So, or the third renewal, whichever comes first. Generally, it's the third renewal.
I'm just asking, are you sure of this? Because,
Not absolutely sure.
well, I hope somebody's,
We're positive.
Apparently, there are some people who
We're
are not
positive.
completely sure.
No, I understand exactly what's going on.
I think Sam may be alluding to the fact that he has board members, and as fiduciaries, we have to be licensed by the Gaming Control Board, and unfortunately, that is required every 3 years.
No, I'm sure of that too, but I just got told today that.
Thank you, Todd, for trying to help us.
If you have any of those issues from owners, please send them my way. I'll be glad to talk about that.
I'm sure I think so.
Is that, I should know this already, I'm sorry that I don't, but is that kind of information easily available on the department's website? And if it's not, maybe,
Available from the commission office.
if not, maybe we could make that so.
I'm not sure that it's on the website.
It seems like one of those frequently asked questions kinds of things that could get posted for people who are new to Pennsylvania.
Not another issue.
Thank you, Andy.
Sam's conversation.
Could we identify for the record so that Mr. Nonfrey knows who's talking?
Todd Mosteller, Pennsylvania Horsemen's Benevolent Protective Association.
Speak up just a little bit.
Okay, Sal. Sam's comment reminded me of something that I had addressed to the commission years ago that would facilitate licensing of horsemen when they ship into Pennsylvania. Currently, we do not take cash, and we do not take credit cards at our facilities. So essentially, the only monetary form of payment is a check. It is an inconvenience. It is not facilitate licensing. Most people, when they ship, they'll either give their own cash. Very few people are going to give them a check. But we need to find a solution to that because it's this is the only place I'm aware of that does not allow either cash or credit card, and it is a major problem, and it's something that we should be able to correct. And I mean, I can write a bad check, but I can't give you cash. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Appreciate that, Todd. I'll just say, the Commonwealth does have a new contract for credit card payment, so the technological answer to this is more or less resolved for the next 5 years. Still outstanding is approval from the Office of the Budget and the Office of Administration for us to forego the revenue in the form of transaction fees that would be paid to the credit card companies as opposed to in a check. We get all of the check, assuming the check is good. We did just in the last couple of months have another of the department's bureaus get that approval. So it is possible that things are moving forward. What we need is a cost-benefit analysis that we can send down with the request that helps to outline some of the inconveniences that you were talking about. So if I could ask you to work with Tom or Brett, as the case may be, to help us make the case that it's actually better for the Commonwealth to be able to take the credit cards in terms of things moving faster, more reliable payments, all the things that you were talking about, that helps us make the case to move forward. But I will not rest. One of my goals before I die is to have the entire department on a credit card system. It's silly how much time we spend processing checks. That's why I got a soapbox on there.
If I can add to this, as I remember the old procedure, at least at the standard grade tracks, a new person who was entering into the sport, it was a lot simpler to have everything done right when you did your forms and so forth. The procedure that we have now with the police, it's very complicated and it's not a very friendly process to a new owner who wants to get into the sport. I don't know if anybody else is having the same problem, but it's not a very friendly process. And I guess it can't be changed.
I don't think it can be changed for the next, Andy, help me, at least the next 4 years, right? That contract just went in with the state police and they're due.
Yeah, that was for 4 years. We're not fully tied into that, because we got a special dispensation on all of that process. So we could possibly do something. I'll be glad to talk to you about your ideas.
Okay, so Andy will follow up with Commissioner Brenizer if anybody else wants to be part of that discussion on how the commission might be able to streamline fingerprinting. Let Andy know before you leave today. I'm sure he'd be happy to take your thoughts. Any members of the public?
That's it for industry reports. Moving along to public comment. We had one person register for public comment, Patrick Kane. I don't think I see him in the audience though.
Anybody see him out in the hallway maybe, on the side?
No, so there's no public comment at this time.
In that case, our next meeting will be on Thursday, March 29th. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.